The House will come to order. The pledge this morning will be led by Molly Lancaster, Chloe Lancaster, Colton Lancaster, Rylan Lancaster, and Britton Lancaster. These are all grandchildren of Representative Sarah Ghilardi from Turnberry Elementary.
Please join me for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Kohler, please call the roll.
Representatives Arndt. Becker J. Becker K. Brown. Buck. Buckner. Carver. Conti. Corum. Court. Danielson. Del Grosso. Dorr. There it is. Duran. Esgar. Everett. Fields. Foote. Garnett. Janal. Hamner. Representative Hamner. Humphrey. Joshi excused. Kagan. Kaiser. Klingenschmidt. Kraft-Tharp. Landgraf. Lawrence. Present. Lebsock. Lee. Lontine. Lundeen. McCann. Melton. Mitch Bush. Moreno. Navarro. Neville. Nordberg. Representative Nordberg.
Excused.
Oh, sorry, it's right there. Pabone.
Here.
Pedersen. Primavera. Priola excused. Rankin. Ransom. Rosenthal. Rupe. Ryden. Sane. Salazar is excused. Sias. Singer. Tate. Thurlow. Tyler. Representative Tyler. Van Winkle. Vigil. Willett. Williams. Wilson. Windholz. Winter. Young. And Madam Speaker.
With 62 present, 0 absent, 3 excused, a quorum is present. Representative, do you want to dispense with the journal? Okay. Representative, is it Ransom? Sorry, Representative Ransom.
Mr. Speaker, I move that the reading of the Journal of Wednesday, March 25th be dispensed with and that it be approved as corrected by the Chief Clerk.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. Motion passes. Announcements and introductions. Representative Kraft-Tharp.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. So, members, I am pleased to say welcome to my friend, former state representative from House District 27, Sarah Ghilardi, to the president of the Student Council of Turnberry Elementary, Molly Lancaster, and along with her is Chloe Lancaster, Colton Lancaster, Rylan Lancaster, and Britton Lancaster, who came this morning and helped us out with the pledge. Thank you very much for joining us. Thanks for being my guest today.
Welcome, Representative Ghilardi. Representative Neville.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. And I would just like to introduce my mother, Barb Neville, in the back, and then my two daughters, Mary Caitlin and Hannah.
Representative Quorum.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. I have talked to the minority leader and the majority leader and would ask to be excused tomorrow.
Representative Quorum, you can be excused anytime you'd like to be excused. Representative Garnett.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. Members, remember today's Museum Advocacy Day. There will be a cocktail reception tonight at the Denver Museum of Nature and Science from 6 to 8. I encourage everybody to attend.
Representative Wilson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. Colleagues, if I could have your attention, please, I need to make an apology.
Representative Wilson's going to make an apology.
I'm so sorry today, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem, that my nephew Adam, his wife Jess, and their son Aiden are not elected officials, so I can't announce them by name. So, but I would like to have you welcome them to the chamber, please. Thank you.
That sounds like a school superintendent trying to get around the rules. Representative Brown.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. And today is Museum Advocacy Day. And this morning I have some folks from Durango from the Powerhouse Science Center that are here. And I'd like for you guys to stand up and thank you for being here.
Welcome from Durango, Representative Lundeen.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. I'm not sure how this is going to run with regard to protocols because these are theoretically schools that I'm introducing.
Okay, hang on a second, Representative Lundeen. Members, I know you're excited for today's work, but let's give Representative Lundeen some respect.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. Yeah, I'm going to say these are not theoretically schools. These are actually practically schools. These are home schools that I'm going to introduce, and since they are home schools, they'll be introduced by name. The names are proper names, or proper nouns. The Cheeseboro family is here, the Hermanette family, the Mance family, Apgar, Brown, Visosky, Chaskalez, the Freeman family, the Garrett family, the Burdecko family, the Trecca family, the Flahive family, and the Porter family. Schools are all here today in and about the Capitol. I'm not sure if any of them are in the gallery right now, but I would like you to welcome and recognize the home schools that I've just announced that are in the building today. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem.
Representative Lundeen, I think we're going to have to change the rules to be excused from the fine, since it does say, I think, specifically schools as that we know them traditionally. So for a quarter for every family that you introduced, I think that's like $3 or something. Representative Lundeen. Okay. Further announcements and introductions. Representatives Everett and Melton.
In honor, so noticing that there's so many things on the agenda today, we saw that it's Women's History Month, and we're going to honor that. So in honor of Women's History Month, tomorrow is technically not Bow Tie Friday; it is Scarf Friday. In honor of all the ladies in the chamber, and of course, guys wear a bow tie and a bolo. Representative Melton, take it away.
Representative Melton. Representative Lundeen. And Winholtz.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. And members, Representative Winholtz and I are here to tell you about some women in education that we would like to honor. We had some other folks I hope will come forward to talk about some of our honored women in education, but we are officially Women Recognizing Women's History Month. So I hope that you could pay attention to that. And then if you want to do Scarf Friday, I'll leave that optional for you. So,
Representative Lontine, let me get everyone's attention yet again.
thank you.
Members, spring fever is upon us, but please pay attention to our members in the well. Please give them the respect they deserve. Representative Lontine.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. So I have chosen to honor Emily Griffith. Every day we walk in this building, and if we look to the north side, we see Emily's stained glass window. And Emily was a education champion, and she was really ahead of her time because she was talking about workforce development before it was cool. So I would like to take a moment to honor Emily. And she was born in 1880. She was a teacher by trade, and she was convinced that children would never do well if their parents couldn't get good jobs. And so as a result, she was inspired to found her school, Emily Griffith Opportunity School, for anyone who wishes to learn. And they were welcome to all people, regardless of age, race, or education level. And it was to expand their horizons and chart their own course for success. Back when Coloradans were joining the Ku Klux Klan to persecute poor immigrants and others at the bottom of society, Emily had a better idea. Why not teach them English and job skills and welcome them to be useful citizens? Her Opportunity School opened on November 9th, 1916, and it was renamed in her honor in 1933. Emily Griffith Technical College has assisted more than 1.6 million students since its inception. So she began her career as a teacher in Broken Bow, Nebraska at the age of 13. I know. Became convinced that children that she taught there and later in Denver's poorest neighborhoods would never do well until their parents required a basic education. So in 1915, she appealed to the Denver School Board for permission to open up a revolutionary school that would provide a free education to any adult who needed a second chance. November 9th, 1916 was the opening day of the world's first school geared to provide basic adult education and training in marketable skills. Griffith chose the name Opportunity School and hoped that 200 adults would enroll during the first semester. Instead, 2,389 signed up for classes. The school was later renamed Emily Griffith Opportunity School, and Emily's concept became world-renowned and much emulated. In June 2011, Emily Griffith Opportunity School officially changed its name to Emily Griffith Technical College. Emily Griffith is one of my education heroes, and her work continues today, and I think that's something we can all be very proud of. So, Representative Windholz.
Thank you, Representative Lontine. Representative Windholz, and members, please pay attention to Representative Windholz in the well. She's talking about and honoring Women's History Month.
Eleanor Ellie Greenberg. Greenberg came to Colorado in 1954 to work as a speech therapist and quickly became a community activist, finding ways to provide access to opportunity for women and minorities. As a national leader in adult education and adult development, Greenberg has worked with major colleges and universities in Colorado and was a guest faculty member for the Harvard University School of Education Institute for Management and Lifelong Education. Greenberg was one of the first to create learner-centered educational programs in Colorado, heading University Without Walls, an individualized bachelor degree program for adults utilizing resources from the community. At the University of Colorado Health Science Center, she established the Mountain and Plains Partnership to provide access to online master's degree programs for nurse practitioners, nurse midwives, physician assistants, to underserved areas of Colorado, Wyoming, New Mexico, and Arizona. She has been forefront in fair housing effort for more than 40 years and served on numerous commissions and boards. As a nationally known public speaker, writer, and consultant, she founded the Colorado-based EMG and Associate, a consulting and publishing firm specializing in adult education and distant learning. We owe a lot to Miss Eleanor Ellie Greenberg. She was born in 1932, and we very much appreciate what she continues to do today. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Winholtz. Representative Court.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. Well, I'm really excited today because I get to talk to you about a constituent of mine. She is still active in Denver. Her name is Arlene Hirschfeld. She was born in 1944. After working as a teacher at Abraham Lincoln High School, Hirschfeld made a career of working almost full-time for various causes, and I can attest to the facts of that. She is a very, very active member of our community. She was the first woman board chair of Rose Community Foundation. She has served as the third woman president for the Allied Jewish Federation in '99. Among her many awards are the Ellis Island Medal of Honor, one of only 13 women among 113 honorees from across the United States. She is Colorado Philanthropy, I'll get the word out. Philanthropy Day Outstanding Volunteer Fundraising Award, SCFD Rex Morgan Award, Martin Luther King Jr. Business Social Responsibility Award, and University of Denver Founders Day Award for Community Service. You know, that's a lot of acknowledgement and of community service. She has served on the steering committee for the Harvard University Divinity School's Dean's Council in Women's Studies and Religious Program, and she was instrumental along with her committee in raising $1 million to endow one of the Women's and Religious Program Studies scholars, and 2 years earlier than anticipated in a 5-year campaign. You know, that's a big deal too, because raising money, we all know, is a real challenge. Ms. Hirschfeld served as the first Jewish president of the Junior League of Denver. She was part of an effort in the National Association of Junior Leagues to actively diversify the membership.
Representative Court, let me get the members' attention again. Members, I understand you need to have conversations, and if you need to have those, please take those out into the lobby or off to the side so that we can listen to Representative Court and the Well and others who are honoring women during Women's History Month. Thank you. Representative Court.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. We appreciate that, especially the women in the chamber. Arlene Hirschfeld has made an indelible mark on Colorado as a lifelong community leader, philanthropist, and tireless activist working on behalf of women, children, education, and the arts. Hirschfeld's unique style of civic engagement serves as a model of contemporary philanthropic leadership. And again, I want to brag, she's my constituent. Born and raised in Denver, Hirschfeld has been making significant and enduring contributions to the community for 35 years. After working as a teacher at Abraham Lincoln, she made a career of working almost full-time for various causes. She's volunteered, and I'm not going to go through the whole list again, but it's a zillion things she's done. Her belief in the importance of volunteerism to enhance the quality of life of individuals in the community has fueled her work. Hirschfeld has devoted her time and energy to improving and enriching the community through her leadership and mentoring others in philanthropic volunteerism. Hirschfeld has also been involved on the national level, serving on the steering committee for the Harvard Divinity School. I've mentioned that, and she was instrumental along with her committee in raising $1 million endowment for that scholarship. So Arlene Hirschfeld, again, my constituent, I'm very proud of the fact that she is, and she is an incredibly valuable member of our entire Denver and Colorado community for her philanthropic efforts. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Court. Representative Conti.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. Members, this morning I'm going to honor Miss Evie Dennis. Ms. Dennis was a leader, innovator, and pioneering advocate for political and legislative change to advance and enhance opportunities for all people in the areas of education, Olympic sports, and amateur athletics. Dennis came to Denver as a researcher at the Children's Asthma Research Institute and the National Jewish Home for Asthmatic Children. She began her public education career in 1966 as a teacher and eventually moving up through the Denver public school system. She became deputy superintendent from 1988 to 1990 and superintendent from 1990 to 1994. She was first woman, let's skip on down here. She was the chief de mission for the United States Olympic Committee for 2 Pan American Games as well as the 1988 Olympic Games, a first for a woman in Olympics history. Dennis was one of the first 2 women to reach the U.S. Olympic Executive Committee and the first to serve as the vice president of the U.S. Olympic Committee. She was also honored as an inductee to the Sportswoman of Colorado Hall of Fame in 1977. In 1999, she was named laureate of the Association of National Olympic Committees. In addition, Dennis was inducted into the United States Track and Field Hall of Fame in 2004. An obvious, well-rounded innovator and pioneer and advocate for politics, legislative, and as well as athletics.
Further announcements and introductions. Representative Arndt. Representative Arndt and Representative Sane and Mr. Assistant Majority Leader and Representative Willett. What's happening right now?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Don't be nervous. This is a bipartisan announcement about the Pedal on the Plains. We gave you a little preview last week. The route has come out. I know you've been waiting for this. It is September 19th to 21st this year. Put it on your calendar right now. It's from Wiggins to Fort Morgan is the first day, Friday, 34 miles, nothing to it. Fort Morgan to Sterling on Saturday is 74 with an optional Century ride. And Sterling back to Wiggins on Sunday, 66 miles. So we would like you all to be there. We are all doing it. We're committing to the ride right now.
We are committed, and so we invite you to the ultimate in agri-entertainment, so you can pedal, get your exercise while you learn about our agricultural producers. We hope you join us.
Thank you.
Join us, thanks.
Thank you, members. Representative Young. Let's give Representative Young the respect he deserves as well, members. Representative Young.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. I guess the noise level is going to go up now. Hey, appropriations members. You're all listening? Got some changes. The first important change is start time tomorrow. 8:15 instead of 8 o'clock. There's nobody applauding. All right. Okay, very good.
Only those who don't have to be there at 8 a.m. are applauding.
Pardon me, Mr. Speaker.
Only those who don't have to be there at 8 a.m. are applauding Representative Young.
Exactly. Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. Second notice, the reason we're changing the start time is there are some bills that I'm pulling off the calendar for tomorrow. House Bill 1006, House Bill 1013, House Bill 1056, House Bill 1027, and House Bill 1178. Those 5 bills will not be heard tomorrow. They will be scheduled for a later time. And the reason why we're starting later is because we have less bills to deal with. So thanks, members of Appropriations.
Thank you, Representative Young. Further announcements and introductions. Message. Seeing no further Representative Kagan.
House Judiciary Committee meets this afternoon, not in our usual House Committee hearing room, but in room 271.
Representative Arndt.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have a little bit of egg on my face right now. I'm sorry. I checked the website. I thought that was the route. Evidently, I've been informed that was the route from last year, and we have to wait a little longer for the new route. Pardon me.
Members, just make sure you don't follow Representative Arndt on the route. Representative Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. Business Affairs and Labor. We will meet today at 1:30. We have 2 bills to hear, House Bill 1301 and 1230. We are back in LSBA. We will meet in LSBA at 1:30 today. Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem.
Representative Foote.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. House Finance, take the morning off. We don't have any bills to do, so we won't be meeting this morning.
Representative Lebsack.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. Local government, no meeting today.
Further announcements and introductions. Seeing no further announcements or introductions, the next order of business is consideration of resolutions. Mr. Kohler, please read the title of Senate Joint Resolution 20.
SJR 20 by Senators Todd and Roberts, also Representatives Janal and Lawrence, concerning the recognition of National Women's History Month and in connection with designating March as Colorado Women's History Month.
Representative Lawrence.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. I would ask that the resolution be read at length.
Representative Lawrence, you need to move Senate Joint Resolution 20.
All right. You know, I've only been here for a couple of years. I move SJR 15-20 and ask that it be read at length.
Thank you, Representative Lawrence.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem.
Whereas American women of every race, class, and ethnic background have made historic contributions to the growth and strength of our nation in countless recorded and unrecorded ways, especially in the areas of political and social change. And whereas the United States boasts a rich history of women whose vast and courageous achievements speak to the sense of excellence and potential shared by all Americans. And whereas our country would not be where it is without the strength, bravery, insight, and persistence of the women who have come before us. And whereas American women have played and continue to play a critical economic, cultural, political, and social role in every sphere of the life of the nation by constituting a significant portion of the labor force, working inside and outside of the home as everything from educators to astronauts. And whereas American women have been leaders not only in securing their own rights of suffrage and equal opportunity, but also in the abolitionist movement, the emancipation movement, the industrial labor movement, the civil rights movement, and other movements that create a more fair and just society for all. And whereas women have not only played a critical economic, cultural, and social role in our society, but women have also permanently changed the face of American government and politics. And whereas in 1893, Colorado was the first state to give women the right to vote through popular vote, and a year later, Colorado was the first state to elect women to the state legislature. And whereas the first women elected to the Colorado General Assembly in 1894 were Clara Cressingham and Frances S. Clark, both from Arapahoe County, and Carrie C. Hawley from Pueblo County. And Carrie C. Hawley has the distinction of being the first woman in United States history to initiate and get a bill passed. And whereas more than 200 women have served in the General Assembly since 1913, including Helen R. Robinson, who became the first woman to serve in the Colorado Senate, and more than 30 of those women have served in both the House of Representatives and the Senate. And whereas today, women legislators play a vital role in addressing difficult social and economic issues and helping our country and the state of Colorado prepare for the future. And whereas Colorado again this year has the highest percentage of women serving in a state legislature at 42%, while the national percentage of women state legislators is 24.3%. And whereas Colorado currently has 42 women serving in the General Assembly, which is the largest number of women in the legislature in Colorado's history. And whereas such contributions and leadership in areas that help women improve their lives and the lives of those around them led the United Nations in 1975 to designate March 8th as International Women's Day, and led the United States Congress in 1987 to designate the month of March as National Women's History Month. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Senate of the 70th General Assembly of the State of Colorado, the House of Representatives concurring herein, that we, the members of the 70th General Assembly, hereby declare the month of March 2015 to be Colorado Women's History Month in recognition of the struggles, accomplishments, and contributions of American women throughout history. Be it further resolved that copies of this joint resolution be sent to each member of Colorado's congressional delegation, Governor John Hickenlooper, Lieutenant Governor Joe Garcia, Secretary of State Wayne Williams, State Treasurer Walker Stapleton, and Attorney General Cynthia Kaufman.
Representative Lawrence.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. Members, you can be seated. Although many of the accomplishments and contributions of women have been lost from the history books, women have played a vital role in the course of human civilization. From raising families to leading armies, women have made untold contributions to our history.
Representative Janal.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem.
I rise in support of SJR 1520, recognizing March as National Women's History Month. During Women's History Month, we remember our struggles, celebrate centuries of progress, and reaffirm our commitment to the rights, security, and dignity of women in America and around the world. We should never forget the women who have led the way in shattering the glass ceilings for equality. It's hard to believe that almost 50 years ago, former First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt confronted President John F. Kennedy about the lack of women in government. That said, Kennedy appointed her to be the director of a commission to address the status of women in America and the discrimination that they routinely faced. Unfortunately, Eleanor Roosevelt passed away before the commission reported its findings, which started a movement towards true gender parity. Our nation stands stronger for that righteous struggle. Today, women serve as leaders throughout industry, civil society, and government, and their outstanding achievements affirm to our daughters and our sons that no dream is beyond their reach. We've come a long way towards equality, but we can't rest until our mothers, our sisters, and daughters are full participants in a prosperous and just society. We need to continue to advance gender equality by promoting workplace equality and flexibility, by bringing more women into math and science professions, to continue the fight for equal pay for equal work, to prevent violence against women, such as domestic violence and sexual assault, to provide health care for all women, no matter what their age, religion, race, socioeconomic status, or orientation, and to protect our right to make our own health decisions. Today, more women are their family's main wage earner. Women are nearly half of our nation's workers. And at the same time, more than 60% of women with children under the age of 5 are in the labor force. This increasing participation of women in our workforce has demonstrated that the policies that benefit women and working families benefit all of us. We know that when women succeed, Colorado succeeds, as does our nation. And I'm proud to say that Colorado is still the top state for women in the legislature. And I only hope that that number grows. The women in the Colorado State Legislature are leading the way and are role models for women and other states. During Women's History Month, we recall the pioneering legacy of our mothers, our grandmothers, and our great-grandmothers, and you will hear stories, as you did today for the rest of the month, on women who have had dynamic impacts in many areas. We've heard about science, there's education, there's sports, government, just to name a few. And as we face the crucial issues of our time, we should always remember the women of past generations who inspired us to accomplish our dreams and to make them become a reality.
Is there further discussion on Senate Joint Resolution 20? Representative Lawrence.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. And was mentioned earlier, Colorado was the first state to grant women the right to vote, and this is an actual ballot from November 7th, 1893. This election from the official Park County ballot, just to show some of the history that is so significant in Colorado and the role that women have played throughout the history of this state and going forward. And I would just like to congratulate all the women who currently serve in the legislature. The fact that we have the highest percentage in the country is a significant step for our state and certainly serves to make Colorado a role model for the country.
Representative Janal.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. I just want to let you all know that you do have a copy of that original ballot on your desks. And I just want to thank Mr. Nathan Carr of our Office of Legislative Legal Services. He found this ballot on eBay and he purchased it, and donated it to the Capitol's collection. And this ballot will be on display in Mr. Brown's attic, our Capitol Museum. So thank you very much, Mr. Carr, for your contribution.
Yeah, what an incredible gesture by Mr. Carr. Thank you, Mr. Carr. Is there further discussion on Senate Joint Resolution 20? Seeing none, the question before us is the passage of Senate Joint Resolution 20. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Senate Joint Resolution 20 passes. Representative Lawrence.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. I would move that today's roll call be added as co-sponsors.
Seeing no objection, the current roll call will be added as co-sponsors. Is there any further announcements or introductions from the body? We're just going to take a brief recess. The House will come back to order. Further announcements and introductions. Representative Danielson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. Members, in honor of Women's History Month, we're joined today by a very, very special guest in the chamber. And yes, I will gladly accept my fine. I wanted to introduce to the State House of Representatives today Ai-jen Poo. Ai-jen Poo is the director of the National Domestic Workers Alliance and the co-director of Caring Across Generations campaign. She is a 2014 MacArthur Genius Award winner, one of Time Magazine's most influential people of 2012, and now the author of The Age of Dignity. Ai-jen serves on the board of directors of Moms Rising, National Jobs with Justice, Working America, and the National Council on Aging. She is a 2013 World Economic Forum Young Global Leader, winner of the Ms. Foundation Women of Vision Award, and the Independent Sector American Express Leadership Award. And she was named on Newsweek's 150 Fearless Women's list. Please give a warm welcome to Ai-jen Poo.
Welcome, and Representative Danielson, you will be fined $2. Representative Mitch Bush.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. As we heard earlier, today is Museum Advocacy Day, and also, of course, all month we're celebrating women's history. So it's appropriate that I introduce to you one of my constituents, Susie Chosom, who is the executive director of the statewide Colorado Ski Museum, and she is also a museum advocate for all kinds of museums. And today, being part of Women's History Month, I think we also need to recognize, and we'll do it more tomorrow, our outstanding women skiers and their long history in our state. And Susie has really built partnerships statewide.
Thank you. And Representative Mitch Bush, you'll be fined $2 as well. Any further announcements or introductions? On behalf of the Speaker, there is 3 announcements regarding replacements on committees today. Hopefully you already know your replacement assignments, but Representative Sane will replace Representative Joshi on Health Insurance and Environment today only. Representative Lundeen will replace Representative Joshi on Appropriations for tomorrow morning only. And Representative Melton will replace Representative Salazar on the Judiciary Committee for today only. Any further announcements or introductions? Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. I move to lay over the balance of the calendar until tomorrow, Friday, March 27th.
Seeing no objection, the balance of the calendar will be laid over at the Majority Leader's request. Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. I move that the House stand in recess until 1 p.m. later today.
Seeing no objection, the House will be in recess until 1 p.m. today.